Most crime scenes are chaotic. Broken furniture, bloodstains, signs of panic. But sometimes, the most terrifying crime scenes are the ones that look completely untouched. When police entered the apartment after 3 weeks of silence, they found something deeply disturbing. Everything was clean. Too clean. No fingerprints. No personal belongings. No signs of struggle. Almost as if someone had carefully erased an entire human life from existence. But beneath the smell of bleach, investigators would eventually uncover blood traces hidden behind a bathroom radiator, a missing man's laptop mailed back to his family, and evidence suggesting someone had spent multiple nights cleaning the apartment long after he disappeared. The question was no longer whether something terrible happened inside that apartment. The question was, who worked so hard to make sure nobody could ever prove it? For 3 weeks, nobody heard from him. At first, that didn't seem unusual. He lived alone, worked remotely, rarely socialized with neighbors. The kind of man people described as quiet but polite. 34 years old. An accountant. Structured. Predictable. According to co-workers, he followed routines almost obsessively. Morning coffee at the same cafe. Lunch at the same time every day. Weekly calls with his sister every Sunday evening. Then suddenly, everything stopped. No calls. No emails. No activity. At work, employees assumed he was sick. But when he failed to appear for an important financial review meeting, concern began spreading quickly. 3 weeks after he was last seen, neighbors contacted police after noticing newspapers piling beside the apartment door. When officers arrived, nothing immediately looked wrong. The front door was locked. No sign of forced entry. No sounds inside. But the moment investigators stepped into the apartment, they noticed something unsettling. The smell. Bleach. Strong enough to overpower everything else. At first glance, the apartment appeared almost unnaturally organized. Counters wiped clean. Furniture perfectly aligned. No dishes. No laundry. No fingerprints visible on glass surfaces. It looked less like someone lived there, and more like someone had prepared the apartment for inspection. Then detectives noticed something even stranger. There were almost no personal items left behind. No framed photos. No notebooks. No chargers. No medication. No toothbrush beside the sink. It was as if someone had carefully removed every trace of identity from the apartment. But one thing immediately confused investigators. 2 days before vanishing, the tenant had paid 6 months of rent in advance. That detail destroyed the possibility of a spontaneous disappearance. People planning to leave permanently rarely secure half a year of future housing. Unless, they never intended to leave willingly. As forensic investigators processed the apartment, neighbors began sharing details police found deeply disturbing. Several residents reported hearing a vacuum cleaner running late at night for multiple days after the man was last officially seen. One neighbor specifically remembered the sound continuing past 2 a.m. 3 nights in a row. At first, detectives believed someone may have been obsessively cleaning the apartment after a violent incident. Then luminol testing changed the entire investigation. Inside the bathroom, behind a metal radiator near the floor, forensic teams discovered traces of blood invisible to the naked eye. It wasn't much. Just microscopic remnants. But enough to confirm someone had attempted to clean biological evidence from the apartment. Very carefully. Investigators immediately searched for additional forensic evidence. But whoever cleaned the apartment had been thorough. Almost professional. No clear fingerprints. No visible fibers. No signs of forced violence. Only absence. And absence itself became evidence. Meanwhile, another disturbing discovery surfaced. His employer received a resignation letter postmarked from a city he had never visited. The wording felt strange. Cold. Emotionless. Co-workers immediately doubted he had written it willingly. Then came the laptop. Nearly a month after the disappearance, his sister received a package with no return address. Inside was his laptop. Factory reset. Completely wiped. No files. No browser history. Nothing. Investigators later determined the device had been intentionally erased using professional-grade software. Then another clue emerged. His car was discovered abandoned inside long-term airport parking. At first, police believed he may have fled voluntarily. But there was a problem. No airline records matched his identification. No boarding pass. No passport scan. No confirmed travel. It was almost as if the car had been placed there deliberately to create the illusion of escape. Then detectives uncovered the bank withdrawals. The day before he disappeared, nearly $9,000 had been removed from his account. But not all at once. The withdrawals were divided into amounts just below federal reporting thresholds. Whoever took the money understood financial monitoring systems. That detail terrified investigators, because it suggested planning, careful planning, and possibly someone experienced in avoiding detection. As forensic analysis continued, investigators found one final piece of evidence inside the apartment. A single strand of hair trapped inside the bathroom drain. It did not belong to the missing man. DNA testing returned no matches in any criminal database. No identity. No suspect. Nothing. The investigation slowly collapsed under the weight of unanswered questions. Was he murdered? Kidnapped? Or had he orchestrated the disappearance himself? Police could never fully prove any theory. Years later, the apartment still remains one of the most disturbing missing person investigations in the county's history. Because investigators eventually realized something horrifying. Most killers try to hide bodies. But in this case, someone appeared to be trying to erase the very existence of a human being. Not just physically, but digitally, financially, emotionally, completely. And maybe the most terrifying part of all is how close they came to succeeding. Think about that for a second. It takes a lot of effort to cover up a crime, but it takes an entirely different level of precision to dismantle someone's entire existence piece by piece. They didn't just clean the floors, they tried to make sure the world forgot he ever breathed. So let me ask you, if someone walked into your life today and decided to scrub away every trace of you, how long would it take before anyone noticed something was wrong? If your home was suddenly left completely spotless, would it bring your loved ones peace, or would it terrify them? If you want to uncover more dark truths and hidden histories, subscribe to FrameTale HQ, hit the notification bell, and leave your thoughts on this story in the comments below. Until next time, keep searching for the truth.